I'm John, and tonight I want answers about new presidential candidates. There's no stopping us now because we're live.
I'm John Thompson.
I'm John A. Vink.
I'm Keith Stattenfield.
I'm Loretta Beavers.
I'm AJ Minnick.
I'm Jennifer Sim.
I'm Bobby Chastain. These stories tonight on John Wants Answers.
John wants answers. John wants answers. Give John answers. Give John answers. John wants answers. John wants answers. Give John answers now.
Check your calendar. If it says August 8th, 2024, then we're live. And it's our season 15 premiere.
We're not live? You told me we're not live. I mean, we're live.
We are alive.
Yeah, but that's a different word.
Okay. We're alive.
We're taping a TV show, except we
Yes.
don't use tape. So we're recording a TV show.
Yes.
Although there's not a record.
There's a record of the show.
We're
being recorded.
writing bits to I'm going to say hard drive, but it's not a hard drive.
I feel like
probably
you're
an SSD.
You're getting into the weeds here a little bit.
Have you watched the show?
The audience doesn't need this level of detail.
I think they do. We need to, yeah. The audience, this is what they tune in for.
For this.
For me.
Oh,
for
okay.
me. Everyone that I talk to that watches this show says I'm the reason they watch this show.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone who I talk to says, "Who's that Keith guy? Get someone better who knows stuff."
Yeah.
And I watch it because you.
Do you?
I never actually get someone better.
Yeah.
We got to change the opening credits. Like half the people in those opening credits weren't even here today.
More than half.
Like Bobby Chastain, not here.
I think 2 of those people are here today.
And then 3, I think. There's you, there's me, and Loretta Beavers.
Are we in the opening credits?
We are. They just ran.
I
Didn't
don't
you watch?
pay attention to anything.
You said I'm Keith Stattenfield.
Okay, I did. Okay, yes. 3 of us. 3 of the people in the opening credits are here tonight.
Bobby Chastain's gone.
Gone.
He
Like
left
he's
the studio.
Left the country.
And John Thompson, he's got better things to do than to ever come back here again.
Well, he's not wrong.
And AJ gave me a reason which I forget.
Yeah.
So
He's
just
busy.
this
It's like
month
his
he's not here.
10th wedding anniversary or something.
I think it's like at most 2, wouldn't it be?
2?
Did they just get married?
I don't know. Again, I don't listen to people.
So season 15, apparently June is when our new season starts.
Wow.
And we didn't do a June episode.
We didn't.
Or a July one.
I was in,
You were on a boat?
no,
No.
I was on a boat in March.
In June I was.
think you were in Canada.
I was on a boat in June, and then July you were in Wisconsin.
I was in Wisconsin in July.
Yeah.
What were you on a boat for?
I was on a boat. I was in Italy.
Ah, I remember, Italy.
Yep.
Did you bring me anything?
No,
Yeah,
nothing.
nothing.
What did you bring me from Wisconsin?
I've got some brats in my freezer if you want them. Got some Kringle.
No, thank you.
It's delicious.
So, we can start off with old business.
Okay,
Number 1, you're supposed to bring me a list of titles.
okay.
What did you bring me?
Like titles underneath my name?
Yes.
Like what you can call me titles?
Yes. Now, if
Oh,
we show you now and put your tag on, and then tag him. Unprepared. Because
Yeah.
I'm betting you did not bring a list of titles.
Oh, I didn't think that you were asking for anyway. I thought like what titles would I have? And I was like, well, I'm like a board member. And
Oh.
I'm like a board member. And like you can put comma M.S. after my name. Because I have
you're
a
a master.
Master of Science.
Okay.
You can't put doctor, because
No.
that would be wrong. Although if anyone out there would like to give me an honorary degree, I would be happy to put
Are you
comma,
allowed?
honorary PhD after my name.
Are you allowed to say doctor if your degree is honorary?
Well, you're not, yes, but
Yes. But what?
probably shouldn't.
Like,
I mean, it
Dr.
would depend
Bill-
on the context.
Dr. Bill Cosby, was that rescinded? Or does he still have it?
I think that may have been rescinded.
Okay. So he's not.
But I mean, he got multiples of them. I don't know if all of them have been rescinded.
What was that? Did you hear that?
I did. Let someone check the piano guy.
Oh. That was for our first topic. We're not there yet, though.
No, we're not. He
Okay.
must have gotten confused and slipped.
Hope he's still around for later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have any titles for your Your tags.
Unprepared sounds like a title. So yes, I have a title.
Okay. But you didn't bring me any.
No, I didn't. You got to be clear in the
Every
email.
single month we have this conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
again,
in the May
I don't
episode,
watch the show. I
you're
don't
he-
pay attention to the show.
You don't need to watch the show.
When I'm driving home, I've already forgotten everything we talked about on this show.
I sent you the topics ahead of time. This is in the topics.
Yeah. It just says
Title.
What is
Where-
your list of titles? And I just
where's it?
gave you a list of. You need to expand list of titles for your tag on the show.
Okay.
Plus, you sent it to me at like 4 o'clock today. When would I have had time to reply?
As
Given
you're
that I'm a
driving to the
busy
studio,
man.
you can be thinking
As
of
I'm
titles.
driving to the studio, I can reply.
You can think. You don't have to reply to me. You can think of it. So when you get here, you
Okay,
tell me.
maybe next month.
Okay.
I mean, no, but maybe next month. Let's hope we'll spring eternal.
Next old business.
Next old business.
Andrew Wilyoung.
Yes.
So, I've heard you know how he died.
Yes, his heart stopped.
Oh, because you told me he died of natural causes.
Yes.
And then you found more information out.
Well,
And
he had been ill,
I mean,
and
technically,
then eventually his heart stopped.
when every dead person has a stopped heart.
Yes.
So, but this was the cause of his death.
Natural causes.
Natural
They-
causes. Natural causes seem so vague. Like a heart stopping isn't really a natural thing for your heart to do.
Well, it turns out it kind of is, because it happens to almost everybody.
When they die, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Naturally.
not as a
Like
cause
without
of death.
any external anything, like it just happens to almost all of us.
Well then JFK died of a stopped heart.
Well, he did die of a stopped heart, but we have an immediate cause,
Okay.
namely that a bullet had gone through his brain.
Okay. Do we have any more immediate cause for Andrew?
No, we
Or
don't.
just
No,
his
it's
heart
just
stopped.
He was sick,
in that, and he was sick?
and then he was not alive.
Was it murder?
I don't think it was murder.
Okay.
I
You
mean,
know,
no one is investigating it as murder.
none of us would be here
you
today.
Seem, I mean, I don't want to go all Angela Lansbury, but you seem awfully interested in
what?
this one particular, like, hey, do they have any ideas at all who might have done it on the evening of when I was mysteriously not at my house?
I don't know a
and
lot
my
of people
car
who die.
may have been seen in northern Sunnyvale.
I don't know many people who die. So when someone dies, I'm very intrigued.
Well, I think you probably know lots of people. I mean, you've been around a long time. You
I
know
probably only know 20 people who have
That's
died.
still a
in
fair
my life.
number.
And that's even a high end.
19 of these people you were not interested in. But this one case.
Oh, no.
This one unsolved case where you have no alibi, to the best of my knowledge. And I'm not going to say you have a reason,
Do you have an alibi?
but you did. I do. Yeah.
I had a reason. Well, I kind of mentioned this on the show before.
Yeah, that's
How
what I'm saying.
He, previous to this, he was dead to me.
Yeah,
And now
see?
he's dead to everybody.
Yeah. You're. I'm not going to say suspect number one, but
Okay.
up there.
I'm up there. Okay.
I mean, there's 7 billion people on this planet, and
How many?
6.9 billion of them.
Okay.
I'm not worried about. You're in that other set.
Okay.
Keep my eye on you.
Our next old business.
Okay?
Has Donald Trump been indicted on anything new?
No.
Well-
Although they did come out with a report about a very suspicious contribution from the government
Oh,
of Egypt,
yes.
which he accepted. But he hasn't been indicted for that yet.
Is that? Do you think they're looking to indict him from that?
I would hope.
Do you think a
but
crime
they'll
has been committed?
Probably claim it's a presidential act to accept money from a foreign government, even though
That's
the Constitution says that's one of the few things you cannot do as president.
Right. Oh, so he can still be charged.
I don't think he can. No. I mean, they won't. No, the Supreme Court won't let him charge him. He's
Well,
a
they're
gold
letting-
boy. He's a gold boy, man.
They're letting the hush money sentencing continue.
Yeah, but they're just going to appeal it.
When will the sentencing happen?
I haven't heard a date.
I thought it was
They
like
got
September.
it back on the calendar. Yeah.
Now, when the judge says, "I sentence you to 2 years in jail," do like on right away? Do they take him away in handcuffs and bring him to jail, or is there a
Generally,
time?
no. Generally, you then arrange a date with the Department of Corrections.
Arrange a date.
Yeah, like,
How can I just arrange a date far in the future?
well, they kind of have criteria.
Okay.
I don't think
And Law and Order.
should the judge say, I sentence you to 2 years in minimum security prison starting 3 o'clock this afternoon. I don't think that's likely, but it could happen.
When I watch Law and Order,
Yeah.
when they ever say guilty, they haul the guy away immediately out of the courtroom,
Often, yeah.
and he barely has a chance to shake hands with his loved ones behind him.
Yeah.
And they say, "Don't go, don't go," and
Do
they're all in
they?
tears.
I don't
You don't watch
a lot of
Law and Order?
television. No. I mean, I know the dum-dum. That's Law
Dum
and
dum.
Order, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, usually you're out on bail, and
So he's
after you're sentenced, I think they take you away and do some like post-sentencing stuff. But sometimes they let you go until you're told to report to prison on this day.
Huh. Is it possible he'd be in jail on election day?
We can hope, but very unlikely.
Do you think his sentence will not have any jail time at all?
I think it is very likely he doesn't get jail time for this sentence.
Man.
That he gets probation and
Isn't he
monetary
head of the
fine.
Law and Order party? And they're what? And they're,
No, he's not. I mean, because he's head of it, and he's not Law and Order.
and he's not Law and Order. All right. Our first topic, new presidential candidate. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, he's okay.
I thought he was like falling over at one point.
We gotta. I don't know why he insists on being in that tree every time.
The acoustics.
He was in the tree that first time.
He claims it's the acoustics, but I don't understand what that means.
Yeah.
All right, so Joe Biden was running for president,
Correct.
and then something happened and he's not. And now his vice president is running for president.
Correct.
All right. So how did that happen?
Well, Joe woke up one day and had a chat with some people. Hey, I've been running for president, but as you know, I'm kind of old, and some people think I'm not doing a great job of running for president. And it's possible, even if I think I'm doing a great job running for president, that a majority of the people that are going to have to vote for president aren't going to vote for me. And I would really not like the guy they're going to vote for if they don't vote for me to be president. So I am going to not run for president. And I am going to suggest to the people in the Democratic Party that they should let my vice president, who has been running with me, they have been running as the Biden-Harris ticket the whole time.
Uh-huh.
I would suggest that the Democratic Party should instead choose Kamala Harris as their candidate for president. When they make that decision, which is in August.
This month.
Well, it's already happened.
Okay. So there was I wouldn't say tweet, what do they call it on Truth Social? There's
They're
a
called
truth.
truths. I mean, they're not.
They're not truths.
You've got to say truths so
They're-
that everyone knows you're being sarcastic.
Okay. There's a truth
The truths.
that Donald Trump, he posted.
Really? Is he still
He was
around?
like, what are the chances that crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in history of the U.S., whose presidency was unconstitutionally stolen from him by Kamala, Barack Hussein Obama, crazy Nancy Pelosi, shifty Adam Schiff, crying Chuck Schumer, and others on the lunatic left, crashes a Democrat National Convention and tries to take back the nomination, beginning with challenging me to another debate. He feels like he made a historically tragic mistake by handing over the U.S. presidency, a coup, to the people in the world he most hates, and he wants it back now. This is what Donald Trump wrote.
Yeah.
And I have many questions about this.
Okay.
Okay, so he'll probably be at the Democrat National Convention.
Who will? Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
Yes.
So I might be inappropriate to say he's going to crash the party.
Yeah,
Because
he's
he's
invited.
invited. He's already invited. Okay.
Remember, as I understand, you grew up in Canada.
Yes.
So you may not have done this, but in like 7th or 8th grade, in English class, you would diagram sentences. Like you would take a sentence and you would start
Oh, yeah.
underlining the nouns. and
We
the
know this
verbs
is not
and the-
proper grammar.
The clauses, and you draw these little trees
Uh-huh.
of, here's a subclause, and like someone should try to diagram the sentence and just like draw boxes around all the lies, but it would get too
Be a
complicated.
big box.
Like you'd run out of whiteboard before you ran out of insane, crazy things that are wrong in that one incredibly long run-on sentence.
All right. So one thing I want to point out,
Sure.
he said his presidency was unconstitutionally stolen from
Okay.
him. So is there anything in the Constitution that prevents a shift in who a party's
I mean, no,
nominee
but
is?
I'll point out, Joe Biden is still president right now.
Right, yeah, he is.
I mean, you can't steal something if they still have it.
Right.
Like, he was elected president for 4 years, and
It's
he's
the-
in like year 3.7, and he's, the Lord willing, going to be president for the remaining 0.3, and then his presidential term will end.
Right.
Nobody is promised that after they're president, they get to be president again.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But I think he's referring
nothing
to
could be stolen. Now, you could have said the nomination was stolen,
right.
but it's hard to steal a nomination when someone willingly gives it up.
Well, a few things.
Like, hi,
First-
would you like to have this cupcake? I would love to have that cupcake. Ah, you stole my cupcake.
The Constitution itself makes no mention of political parties, correct?
That's correct. Or
So-
primaries, or
Right.
caucuses.
So there's nothing in the Constitution that would be to steal from.
For it to be unconstitutional.
Right. Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have all these. He says
Yeah, a lot of adjectives and names.
Kamabla. Now, is he making a new nickname for her,
He's trying.
or is he just
I
misspelling?
think he tries to combine Kamala with Obama,
Oh,
but it doesn't make any sense.
Kamabla.
Maybe it's just a typo. Maybe he's not good with the. And he does have those short little fat fingers.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just not good with the keyboard.
Crazy Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Is she known to have mental health issues?
She's not.
Okay.
No, she's.
Shifty Adam Schiff. Did he do anything shifty?
No, not really.
I don't really know anything about him. Crying
fine.
Chuck Schumer. I don't know of a time he was crying. Was he crying? Is he known to have cried?
He's cried occasionally.
Oh, he has
but,
cried. Okay.
But manly crying.
Now, he thinks Joe Biden's going to come back to the DNC
Democratic. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
and he's going to want to take back the nomination. I don't think this is going to happen. Because
It's not like-
I saw him endorse
yeah.
Kamala
yeah,
Harris.
Very multiple times.
Yeah. So I think he's fine with the whole deal.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. He's going to go back to Delaware. He's going to play with his 3 dogs that don't bite Secret Service agents.
In his
And
model
maybe
trains.
also play with that 4th dog that does bite Secret Service agents.
Oh, and he's got this cool, is it Trans Am?
Oh, he's got a very cool car.
What
I
car
mean, they're
does he have?
never going to let him drive again.
Or
but
a Corvette?
He's got it's a great car.
Ooh. And it's parked beside his filing cabinets full of,
Not anymore. He gave him back.
oh, he gave back
Yeah.
all the confidential
Yeah.
top
the
secret documents?
3 confidential documents.
Okay. Now, we had primary elections,
We did.
and I checked a box next to Joe Biden when I voted in the
Because
primary.
you told me you voted for me.
Not for this one.
Okay.
Not for that.
Okay.
For other things, I do vote for you.
That's nice.
I think for like judges,
That's
like
nice. Yeah, you just write me in.
district judge, I write you. in.
Like, I mean, you and a couple other people do it, and I'd have to get a robe.
I think I'd give you a robe.
Wow.
The job comes with a robe. I
Man.
feel confident about.
I'm in the wrong industry. I got to buy my own clothes.
So Joe Biden won all these delegates through the primaries. Now, what can they do, or what have they done to just move these delegates to Kamala Harris, or convince them?
So it depends on what the rules are. Because again, political parties are private institutions. They're allowed to set their own rules.
Okay.
For the most part. In the Democratic primary, they have rules that say and in a primary, when you walked into your ballot and you checked the name next to Joe Biden, you were really not voting for Joe Biden. You were voting for a person in your congressional district who the Biden campaign had identified and said, this is the person who will go to the Democratic Convention in Chicago in August of 2024, and they will vote for a candidate for who the Democratic Party should endorse for president. And every district has a different one. The Democrats have these things that are called superdelegates, which are elected officials and some other primary party people who are also allowed to vote. But you voted for Joe Biden. The person you voted for goes to Chicago. They are obligated under rules of the DNC to vote for Joe Biden if Joe Biden is a candidate for the Democratic Party nomination for president. There were other people you could have voted for. All of those people, except for Joe Biden, had dropped out of the Democratic primaries. There were no people at the start of June that had gotten any delegates.
Was Robert Kennedy Jr.?
He's running as an independent.
Was he running?
Originally was going to run in the Democratic primary, but he decided to run as an independent before he had won any delegates. And he has not won any delegates because he's not running in any party.
Did anybody else run against Biden for the Democratic?
There was a guy from the state of Minnesota whose name I have forgotten at the moment.
Not Tim Walz.
Not Tim Walz. No. He's the governor. This was a congressional candidate. He ran for candidate for president as a Democrat. Williamson, who ran 4 years ago, had said she was running as a candidate for president. None of them got any delegates.
Right.
They may or may not still be running, but none of them have any delegates, so it doesn't matter.
Are the primaries over?
The primaries are over.
Okay. And did Joe Biden win all the delegates?
Well, the short answer is he's won a majority of the delegates.
Okay.
The convention is in a week and a half. So in a sense, we wouldn't have known, did he win all the delegates until the convention, because that's where they vote. They could have changed their mind. But for reasons, the Democratic Party actually did their delegate selection by email, and they have decided to endorse Kamala Harris for president. And at the convention, they will add, we are also endorsing Governor Walz for vice president.
Okay. Is it true that Gavin Newsom cannot be VP because he's also from California? You can't have two from the same state?
He can't not be VP, but in the Electoral College, the Constitution says the Electoral College cannot vote for two people from the same state. So, in theory, no, he can't, because he can't win an Electoral College vote.
Does he get do vice presidents get their own Electoral College votes as well?
I believe there's a separate vote for vice president in the Electoral College.
Wow. I missed that on
But
January
it's
6th.
always the same set of people, and they are always going to vote, because just like these, just like the electors which the parties pick, the electors which the Democratic Party will pick, because again, when you go into the ballot in November, you are not voting for Joe Biden for president. You are voting for a candidate You're voting for a person to go to the Electoral College to
Right.
vote for president.
Okay.
And that person is a person selected by the Biden campaign, and they are, by the Harris campaign now. And they are going to vote for Harris, and they are going to vote for Walz.
But you can just send fake electors to the Electoral College, can't
yes. As it turns out, all of that stuff I learned in high school is fiction.
you? And also, the vice president just picks who the next president is, right?
No, the vice president gets to pick who gets to pick who the next president is.
Oh.
Right? Vice president can't just make it up. They got to open the right bag of votes from the Electoral College.
Oh, does it work that the vice president just doesn't count the votes he doesn't like?
Well, yeah. I
that
mean,
work?
that's
Okay.
You pick the bags.
All right, our next topic, Trump assassination attempt.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, where'd he go? Did he fall down the tree? Oh, there he is. So the Supreme Court
He must be hurt.
has authorized that Joe Biden can
Presidents have a broad
Assassinate.
authority for any presidential act and cannot be tried in a court of law
right.
for official acts.
So Joe Biden can officially have Donald Trump assassinated.
It depends. He'd have to officially have someone he has official action over. Like, he can't just call up a hitman,
No,
go Biden, and go get that Trump guy.
but he can go.
But he could
SEAL
call
Team
up SEAL
6.
Team 6. Well, SEAL Team 7, SEAL Team 4. SEAL Team 6, no, they've done too much.
Is it 6 because there's 6 guys,
I don't think
or is
so.
it?
No, I
They have
think
many teams, and one of them is number
yeah,
6.
just one of them is 6.
How come they get all the glory?
Eh,
Are they the best? For some
Probably not. I mean,
measurement of
probably
best?
SEAL Team 1 is the best.
Okay.
I mean, that's what you'd think.
So if this Trump assassination was successful,
Yes.
who would be on the ballot in November?
That is an interesting question.
Because it would have happened before the convention,
It's
before they
correct.
picked.
On the Republican side, like on the Democratic side,
Mm-hmm.
if someone is not running, then any delegates are free to choose their own candidate on the first ballot at the convention. So they would have
Who do you think they would pick?
somehow
Greg Christie?
Chris Christie.
Chris Christie, sorry.
Greg Christie, we worked at Apple with him.
yes, that's why
He's
his
not
name
running for president.
is not he should.
Yeah. I mean, if they had succeeded, then the Republican convention would have very quickly had to coalesce around a candidate. Or if they were unable to coalesce around a candidate, they would not have there would not be a single candidate on the ballot across the country in all the different states for people to vote for with the parentheses Republican after their name.
There'd be no Republicans.
Well, there probably would be, but
Well, there wouldn't be one.
in essence, the state parties forward to their state legislatures who should be president. And
Oh.
in practice, those parties always forward the name that was selected at
Yeah.
the convention. But if the convention doesn't select anything, I suspect every state party would say, well, we think the Republican should be this person.
Oh, wow. That'd be
And
chaos.
it might not be the same person in every
Yeah.
state, and then it would be chaos. I mean, there were times that the Republican parties in the South did not, or Republican and Democratic parties in the South did not support the national candidate and forwarded their own names.
Oh, really? This during
I think
war,
1968,
Civil War time?
they had
1968, that's recent.
a candidate running as a Democrat in several southern states. There was not. Who was a Republican in '68? It was Nixon. But weirdly, in those cases, I mean, it was very unlikely the Republican candidate. And I said Democrat, but I meant Republican. The Democratic candidate was going to win in those states, so it kind of didn't matter.
Oh, okay.
But no, there have been schisms in the